So in my last video, I shared 10 tips on writing from Anne Lamott's book, Bird by Bird. And one of those tips really stayed with me over the last couple days. Anne Lamott says that every writer's dream is to express the ineffable and hopefully, if they can, to capture it with some rhythm and blues. I think that quote really stayed with me because in my memoir, I am trying to capture the ineffable on a father-son relationship. Steve Pressfield says in The War of Art that every writer has a different subject that chooses them, and the subject chooses them because that writer is working something out on that particular subject. My son has autism, and that seems like it would be the thing that I'm working out, and it is partly, but I'm also realizing the more I write my memoir that it's really me and my own relationship deficits that I'm working out as much as autism in our father-son relationship. So I want to share with you something that I wrote a while back that I feel captures the ineffable in my writing on the relationship of a father and son. Try saying ineffable, that word is killing me. I'll let you decide if you think that it captures the ineffable in a father-son relationship. Take a listen. Dominic and I are at Sam Ash Music Store, and I ask an employee for drumsticks. The book I'm reading says a soul that is free and alive is a soul that creates. The author says it is a misconception to think of artists as a rare group of people, or that creativity is the domain of a few people. He says we need to unleash art into the hands of ordinary people, such as a father and son. To create is to be human. To create is to reflect the image of God. So, who is an artist? Anyone who has a soul. This is Erwin McManus's thesis in The Artisan Soul. And as I listen to Dominic play the drums, I agree with his point. Do it again, man, I say, encouraging him as if we're at a jazz nightclub on a Friday evening with a 2-drink minimum. Do it again. Do it again, man. Dominic strikes a snare drum, starting at a slow pace before picking up speed, creating a smooth rhythm. He taps on another drum, going from soft to louder sounds, gradually, and pushes on the foot pedal to a bass drum to produce a low thumping sound. And then he alternates between the drums and cymbals in a fantastic flurry. Do it again, I say. Do it again, man. We look at trombones and saxophones, tubas and trumpets, violins and cellos, clarinets and flutes, tambourines and triangles, French horns and xylophones, keyboards, bagpipes, pianos, a harp. He strums guitars, banjos, ukuleles, a mandolin, a bass guitar. We tap on the tops of African bongo drums with our fingertips and listen to the sounds each one makes. High pitches on the sides and low pitches in the middle, moving from one bongo drum to another like we're doing a sound check. I sense his spirit is free and alive to create music. He sits on a piano bench with me beside him and presses down on a single key with his pointer finger to make a sound. He does the same with the next key, listening to each note, beginning with the high and ending with the low notes, never bashing the keys or playing more than one note at a time like other kids his age might do. Is this a high note? He asks me. This is a low note. He sits on a box-shaped instrument with a hole cut out on the backside and slaps the front of the box, alternating between his left and right hands. I sit on a cajon next to him and tap out a beat. He repeats it back. So I tap out a longer beat and he repeats it back again. I create an even longer beat and he repeats it back again. Then I reach the limits of my beat making and we drum to our own internal rhythms before he leaves to explore the store. He dances on symmetrical rows of flashing red, blue, yellow, green, and purple circles by stepping on the dots. I hesitate to join him because I've never been a good dancer. I played basketball in high school, but my body lacks natural rhythm for dancing. Yet, What do I care if anyone notices us? I dance with my son, stepping on the dots and shooting my legs and arms out like I'm a New York disco dancer in the 1970s. What can I say? A soul that is free and alive is a soul that creates. To create is to be human. To create is to reflect the image of God. So, who is an artist? Anyone who has a soul. In a back room, Dominic and I sit on a bench in front of a Mac computer and press keys to create beats. This is how we roll at the music store. Our souls are free and alive. He creates. I create. We're artists.